As we've been reporting all morning, there is a thick haze over a lot of big U.S. cities. Hundreds of wildfires are burning in Canada, and that smoke is coming south, and it is layering these cities in a thick haze. This is what it looks like in New York today. Air quality alerts in effect for millions of people. They've been told to stay inside, don't go out if you don't have to, and wear a mask. New York, Detroit as well, among some of the worst with air quality, and you can add Detroit and Philadelphia to that list. I'm joined now by Michael Mehta. He's a professor in the Geography and Environmental Studies Department at Thompson Rivers University in British Columbia, Canada. Professor, thank you. Where are we seeing the worst of it right now? I want to put a map up for people. The red are the dangerous pockets, but what are you seeing with your data?
Yeah, so good morning, Marni. So I'm having flashbacks to 2017 here in British Columbia and 2021, where we had very similar kinds of patterns with high levels of air pollution. You'll see that if you look at more detailed satellite resolution type maps as well, that a lot of that smoke is obviously coming from provinces in Canada like Quebec and parts of Ontario. But you also have, of course, some wildfires in parts of the eastern U.S. as well. So this is a global problem. If you look at maps all around the world, you'll see similar kinds of patterns right now.
And talk about the specifics of the particulates in the air. So smoke in the air that then travels through the sky to some of these cities that we're seeing now. What's the greatest danger, and what does this air contain?
Right. So when you burn anything like wood, like you get in a wildfire, you end up with a particulate matter, usually what's called the PM 2.5 scale or 2.5 microns. It's also known as the respirable scale because it's something that's easily inhaled into the lungs and moved through the body. It's a combination of gases and particles containing heavy metals, PAHs, and a variety of other kinds of things that are quite toxic, carcinogenic, obviously, can have impacts on the developing fetus. And of course, we know that if you're compromised in any way with heart disease or you're likely to have a stroke, that this just compounds things quite dramatically.
Some may be surprised that we're seeing the hazy cities hundreds of miles away. How far can these particulates travel through the air over the course of days and weeks?
Yeah, partly a function of concentration and density, but obviously weather patterns, jet stream patterns, and things like that. In 2017, when we had massive wildfires in BC that were rivaling what you're seeing today, we noted that a lot of the air pollution actually not only drifted all the way across North America, but also towards Europe across the Atlantic. So these things can travel thousands of miles for sure.
And can impact weather patterns as well, right? These large, massive fires?
Yeah, they can. I mean, they can, interestingly enough, lower temperature as well, which is sometimes beneficial. But we know that they can also, if they're intense enough, create their own thunderstorms and other kinds of local phenomena. So they're serious.
The thing that I noticed, Professor, when I look at some of the images, particularly New York last night, it was orange and almost like a dark brown with the haze. What's the reasoning for the color looking different in some areas? In Washington, D.C. right now, it's more gray.
Yeah, that's just a combination of the chemistry as well as the refraction of the light. You know, it's very similar to what you see when a rainbow is formed, but unfortunately not a pleasant thing to see in this case. You know, that's a pretty good indicator of what you're breathing in. You know, and if you were to, actually take a sample of the air that you're breathing into your lungs right now, you'd be probably pretty horrified. It'd be like smoking a half pack of cigarettes all at once. So this is pretty serious.
Mm-hmm. And the wind, helpful or harmful? Does it move the system out, or does it just kind of shake things up?
Well, some of it moves out. The larger particles are cleared, the so-called PM10, which are larger. But the smaller ones tend to lodge in the organ systems. They move around into the brain. You know, they've done a lot of research, for example, of people living in countries like Brazil that have very high levels of air pollution. And they found that upon autopsy that they have millions of holes in their brain because of the exposure. So these are things that are very difficult for the body to eliminate.
And it appears there's a little bit of rain in the forecast for some areas. How much rain will it take to knock this out of the sky?
I don't think it's going to make a difference because rain is obviously very local and a lot of this pollution is transporting far distances. So I think what we're going to see happen in terms of how long this is going to last as well this year is you're going to end up with swirling ebbs and flows of smoke coming from various parts of North America, sometimes settling in some areas for long periods of time. Probably the eastern seaboard is going to experience quite a bit of smoke this summer from what I can tell by the modeling. We had in 2017 on the west coast of Canada and the United States 6 weeks of extremely high levels in 2017. So I'm hoping you don't experience that, but it seems somewhat likely.
Yeah, this may be the beginning of something we'll see more of. Appreciate your time, Professor Michael Mehta. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.